Okay, here we go. I overanalyzed every canon episode of OG Naruto, and now I've decided to do every episode of the Land of Tea arc just for the love of the game. Just like the original series, we're doing this in dub. It's clunky for you, the viewer, if it's in sub, and Naruto's dub is good enough anyways. And also, like Overanalyzing Naruto, the mission is the same. Like that one Beebadoobie song, I'm saying everything I want and nothing more. Whether that's critiques, praise, questions, tiny details, or anything that falls in between. That means if there's something you thought I'd talk about and I didn't, no offense, but I probably didn't care to. And now that we have that established, let me just tell you right now, this won't be the same as Overanalyzing Naruto. Throughout the original series, I damn near glazed everything cause it's my favorite series. But for these episodes, I'm gonna be a lot more critical cause there's not as much that I like. I won't be giving it the "but it's filler" excuse either. It's part of Naruto the show, so it will be held to the same standard. I will not hesitate to criticize anything I see as a flaw, the same way, believe it or not, I was in Overanalyzing Naruto. Just this time it will be a lot more noticeable cause, oh boy, you'll just have to watch. I understand people like this arc, and I actually think it's good for a filler arc, but again, that doesn't exempt it from criticism, even if the person writing it was most likely on a deadline and most likely didn't have a whole lot of experience writing. Anyways, that's pretty much the big disclaimer I have to give here, so it doesn't sound like I'm yelling at a cloud for no reason, so no more wasting time, let's just get into it.
Who's missing?
Who do you think? It's Hidate.
I have my problems with the dialogue in this arc, as you'll be able to tell, but this is actually good initial characterization. Just from this, we know Hidate's rebellious and maybe fast enough to slip away somewhere. And I mean, those are kind of two of the big three things about his character.
You're from the Wasabi family of the Land of Tea, right?
Who the heck wants to know?
You know, call me crazy, but I don't think there's much of a point in saying who's asking if you're just gonna draw your sword on the guy right after. They know this guy's a shinobi and most likely there to attack them, so why even entertain a conversation? We've actually seen this umbrella thing before during the Forest of Death. Gaara just fucking murdered the rain ninja using it immediately. It's a cool touch that Aoi is also a rain ninja, which is somewhat clever, so I guess I'll give the writers credit for that too.
I'll let you live this time. But if you're smart, you'll forget all about the race at the Great Todoroki Shrine.
Okay, let's just rip the band-aid off. This is just so direct, it's disgusting. In hindsight, I understand why Aoi is saying this because he knows who these people are and what they're doing. But to us, it just feels like he's walking away, and as he leaves, he just says like, and don't forget, you better forget about that one race up like 50 miles from here. You know, the one at like the Grand Todoroki Shrine? Remember that one? Forget about it. And he's saying it to like us directly. What makes good exposition and introduction is when characters make other characters aware of things. Like compare this to when Temari and Kankuro were talking to Team 7 before the Chunin exams. That whole conversation came naturally and it felt fluid. Sakura asks Sand Ninja why they're in the Leaf, and they give the Chunin exams as their reason, allowing for it to be expanded upon. That whole conversation feels like something Genin would have. It feels like it could happen at any point in the universe. But in this interaction, it's us the viewer being told it for no reason. Like, why does he let these people live? If anything, it's better if he just kills them. He only lets them live so he can tell them not to do the race. The fucking race they're so aware of. And it's like, as he tells them, it's almost like he's looking at us through the screen and goes like, did you catch that? And oh my god, it's like just the beginning too. I would put a sin counter up as a joke, but I am rooting for this. I don't want to just like hate on it the entire time.
Got to get to the village and at least deliver this message.
I'm not even gonna say it.
All of our Jonin are already busy on other missions, including Kakashi. You three will just have to handle this one on your own.
I like that even though it's filler, it makes the fact the village would canonically be stretched thin a part of this arc. That makes it so people who are watching this and not knowing it's filler feel like the attack was a big problem. It was something that affected the village for a long stretch of the series. So, shout out writers? They technically be up right now for counting, by the way. Just want to point that out before it all goes to shit.
It's a B-rank escort mission. Someone important.
B rank is insane, by the way, especially when you consider that one example we see at the start of Land of Waves, an arc I'm sure I'll mention at least a couple times down the line. With that being said, cause Tsunade previously established that the village is stretched thin, it makes sense. And actually, this is probably the safest B rank Tsunade could have given them in theory, even though she herself says it could turn to an A rank. Cause she couldn't have expected the mission to be what it turned out being, it was just supposed to be simple security. I'm not talking about it yet. You see this guy? He has continuity. He is in Shippuden, and that's not a joke. I know he looks like Play-Doh right now, but I'll bring him up in the literal first episode of Shippuden.
When we meet Boss Jirocho. Ah, that gambler guy we met.
I actually like that they incorporate an already pre-existing filler character into this arc. As much as I don't like filler, it can be beneficial to world building, and this is one of those cases. This Jirocho-John actually seems like a real character now that exists, and will continue to even past his involvement in the story, so shout out.
Lunch break, and look, what a coincidence! There just happens to be a tea house right there!
Wait, Naruto!
Jesus Christ. Could they maybe, like, at least make the dialogue not as obvious? Fucking, oh, what a coincidence, there's a tea shop. You don't need to point out the fact it's convenient, dumbass. I know I'm being annoying here, right? I know it's not that deep, but still. You reckon Sasuke is getting, like, flashbacks from seeing this lady? Because she looks a lot like his aunt. Like, genuinely, I think it's the same character model.
I guess you don't get much action in the Leaf Village, judging by how out of shape you look.
So Hidate's only saying this because he's not a shinobi, yet he's confident he's faster than all of them. That I get. But doesn't it at least seem a little ignorant to say this after the village got attacked by 2 other ones? Like, if anything, he just seems like an idiot here. And I mean, we're not supposed to like him here. His introduction makes him unlikable on purpose. And I know he doesn't like ninja because of Ibiki and all that, so his judgment would be a little clouded. But at least have a valid point. Like, if you're gonna hate correctly.
Where'd you come from, sweetie? I didn't see you sitting here. I didn't mean you, of course.
Just want to share a little note my friend told me after showing them this. It says, don't ever say this to a woman. Ever. Also, you're telling me that he didn't see the only person with an unnatural hair color? Bright pink too? Like, come on now. Come on.
Quit hitting on her, or I'm gonna start hitting on you!
But the rest of it? That's no joke. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a ninja.
Oh really, Hidate? You don't say. You don't like ninjas? Thanks for just telling us that information straight up. This is actually perfect timing when you think about it. You know how the Avatar live action just came out? At least at the time of recording this, it just came out. Well, I haven't watched it, but I've seen some clips. And this is exactly how it sounds like the characters talk. He's just telling you what he's feeling. We're not seeing it. There's no genuine storytelling. It's just clunky dialogue, and that's pretty much my biggest problem with this arc. Show don't tell is literally the #1 rule of storytelling. It makes it feel like more of a story, it helps create setup and payoff, and it helps viewers emotionally connect with the characters. When you do shit like this though, it makes things feel shallow. And we're not fucking Cocomelon, we don't need it spelled out to us, we're smart. And this problem of like, tell don't show permeates the entire arc. And I'm sure I'll mention it at least 1 more time in this episode, and like 10 more times in the entire arc.
I don't know what this kid's training has been, but he's incredibly fast.
Who could he be?
This line is really weird. He tells them his full name, which on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm Hidate Marino.
But they only recognize his last name later on, so it's kind of weird they remember it then and not now. Like, why notice it later? Why not just notice it now? Or even just like, why say his name now if it doesn't matter? Is it just so we know his name? Okay, that's perfectly fine. Just don't say his last name. Why? I know I'm getting caught up on stupid shit, okay? I know it, but come on. Like, you understand what I'm saying, right? There's just like so much, oh my god, there's so much filler. Why say his full name now if it doesn't matter? Make his full name actually feel like something. Make it feel like it's fully, fucking hell, man. If he just says his first name now, that would make his full name being said later so much more impactful. Him not saying Moreno would make it feel like he's hiding something, and oh my god, how much that would do for his character, holy shit. Cool touch, but they actually catch up to him really fast, showing that although he has speed, he's not necessarily skilled. And you see how easy that is? Just from 2 moments we learned that from him. Imagine if that was the case for, I don't know, the rest of his character. Imagine he didn't just tell us who he is and we had more moments like this where we can just subtly figure it out. Like we could learn who he is subtly without making a big deal about it. Speaking of,
What's this thing?
Hands off! This belongs to me.
again, like, this is good. We see he wants it, and him saying it's his is perfectly fine. We see by his reaction how much it means to him. It's not this big piece of dialogue. We can lead with that. The characters can now have a conversation about why that knife is so important to him. We can learn more about his character, and that way he'll be fleshed out more. But if you had him saying something like, no, this knife is mine, it's important to me, stay away. Us the viewer wouldn't really care because there's no mystery behind it. But showing not telling makes this something able to be expanded upon later. Anyways, rant aside, Naruto and Sasuke look like I drew them in the shot. No disrespect to the animators, right? They're the heroes of this entire thing, but what's going on?
Get set, go!
Leg weights?
I really like the idea of the writers being like, who's another really fast character in Naruto? Oh, Lee! And they pretty much just gave Idate these leg weights for this moment just to show how fast he is. Which, I know I sound like I'm making fun of them, but it's fine. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every time, you can just make an old wheel.
I bid you greetings and offer you my services. I have come from the village hidden in the leaves, which is also the place of my birth.
Like I said earlier, I have my problems with the characters in this arc, but they got Naruto down pretty good here. This is something his dumbass would do, so point goes to filler here. At this point they're down unfortunately, but yeah.
Control of the town would be decided not by street brawls, but by a competition. The race run every 4 years at the Great Todoroki Shrine dedication ceremony.
I understand I've been complaining about writing for like this entire episode, but I'll give this credit too. Not only does this feel like natural exposition and information given to us the viewer, but it's also set up well enough. We find out there's stakes to this before we even get into the race, and that makes said stakes stick in our head throughout it. Also, call me crazy, but I don't really think either side here should be seen as the protagonists when you think about it. Like, we root for this side because they're the nicer of the two, but I mean, they're still a gambling family. It's the lesser of two evils if anything, but that doesn't mean us the viewer should then be forced to side with a still evil side. POV, the writer's room. Guys, I know the show is called Naruto and we're like 102 episodes in, but what if some random kid tunes into the start of the arc and has no idea what they're watching? Oh, I know. We can kind of just say what he's about, you know, almost like a little refresher for the viewers. Returning viewers wouldn't mind because they've been hearing about him for 102 episodes, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, that's a good idea. How would we do that? Well, I don't even know why I'm here. Oh, I know.
I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I'm a ninja. Not only that, I'm gonna be Hokage someday.
Pretty sure everyone knows this, but these are all summonings and Tauntaun, of course. Cool little detail. I like that they do this. Would have been cool if Sakura specifically picked up Katsuyu, you know, foreshadowing her becoming Tsunade's apprentice, but it's not that deep.
You'd think this was a tourist resort. These prices are outrageous.
And you know what? She is totally right. It is totally way too expensive. This sign says 300 yen, and 300 yen in USD, adjusted for 2004, around the time this was released, was like $3-ish. Adjusted for inflation today, that would be around $5, and that is stupid. In SoCal, it'd be normal, but I don't think the land of tea is the SoCal of Naruto. Fucking Biden's America.
So what kind of race is it anyway?
You know, the kind with a start and a finish. Listen carefully and I'll explain.
Okay, I'll say it. I don't think the writers like Sakura at all. Don't get me wrong, this isn't like an egregious line, but it's definitely one that's made to have Sakura look like a smartass. And while I don't think Sakura and Naruto interact with each other like typical close friends, this still isn't something she'd say, unless she was joking. And this definitely isn't her joking, the writers just think this is Sakura.
Idate Morino.
I said it earlier, but it's kind of weird that Sasuke reacts to his name being called now, but never caught on when he initially said it when they introduced. It's very un-Sasuke-like. I wonder why that is, you know? It's not like this isn't canon. Thus, it's not a canon Sasuke who thinks the same way or acts the same way. I'm not the biggest fan of Idate as a character, but this is really cool. Just him noticing the clouds and being smart enough to know not to take the original route. That's a really good moment. It shows he's not just an idiot and honestly makes for a good way to end off the episode. I have some really bad news. I don't really like this episode. It's not terrible. It's still watchable, but watchable doesn't necessarily mean it's enjoyable. I don't know if I've just grown up from the time I watched this arc more consistently, but oh my god, the writing is so ass. It feels like it's going from point A to point B with no regard to what's in between. It has checkpoints and it's just hitting them and hoping for the best. And you really gotta do better than that. Like, seriously. It feels like what was turned in was a rough draft of the script where some scenes were just bullet points. And I say that because it does feel like a class presentation at times. One where you have like 10 bullet points on your flashcard. and you like read one out and then riff until you find your way onto the next one. What sucks though is that most stories are bullet points and then kind of freestyling until you get there. But good writers make that freestyle feel like it was planned out, and when you compare a good writer like Kishimoto to this, it's just an insane difference, cause he can do it, and other writers just can't. I'm sorry if that comes off as mean or too critical, but that's what it is. Idate pretty much just tells us what he's about. We don't see it, we hear it. If there's one thing you know about me, it's that I hate ninjas, head ass. Reads like fucking, I'm Toph Beifong and I invented metal bending. I'm using this voice to prove my point. There's just so much tell, don't show, when it should always be show, don't tell. Like I said, number one rule, if you don't follow it, your story sucks. It's not all bad though, I think there's good moments shining through. We get some good characterization of Idate and even of Aoi, like the pocket knife is cool and his overall speed. I didn't mention Aoi's, but we see his scar and that's cool enough setup. Overall though, this episode just feels like checkpoints, like I said earlier. They introduce this, then explain this, then say this is a problem, then we're at the race and it's over. Hopefully it gets better later on though. I say as I've already watched and written every single episode, knowing the answer to that. Oh boy, by the way. Oh boy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want. I'm not forcing you. Yet. And if you want to support me more than just watching this video, you can become a member on Patreon. And yeah, next episode. The race is on. Trouble on the high seas. God, I haven't said that in a minute.